There are no more excuses for being bad in bed. None. I don't want to hear about it. Beducated.com is like Sex University with over 100 video courses to level up your sex skills, from fingering to anal to sex toys to how to set up a killer online dating profile. No more excuses. Do your homework, people. Get 50% off access to Beducated's entire course catalog when you click the link in the show notes or use promo code MANWHORE at Beducated.com.
I will let someone go down on me until they break their jaw. So, I will let them die trying. Sometimes they will literally die trying because they are terrible. And I teach classes. I am very good at communicating. And I will tell them harder, softer, left, right, and still they can't take direction sometimes. It's just amazing the lack of listening and following directions that cis men really have an issue with.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Shout out to all the labia lickers, bean flickers, clit ticklers, and all of my other middle school nicknames. This is Billy Procida, and you're listening to the Man Whore Podcast, episode 500. Yeah, welcome to this very special show. And if this happens to be your very first time listening to this podcast, oh boy, are you in for something delightful. This is the oral sex auditions. Now, if my voice sounds a little off, it's because we had a killer ManWhoreCon weekend. And I'm going to tell you all about ManWhoreCon next week because I want to get right into what I got for you. I'm going to keep everything in the intro real tight. Next weekend, August 18th, we've got the Naked Comedy Show back at Hacienda. We've got 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock shows. These almost always sell out, so I can't stress enough, get your tickets early. This is not the type of show you want to wait to get your tickets the day of. I'm just saying. Link to that at the top of the schnotes, as well as my other stand-up comedy dates coming up. And I'm going to even do this one real quick. Fan whore appreciation moment. Bing, bang, boom. We're already in it. It's Mike Wiley. I want to say thank you. Good sir. I don't know if you got any customer service tips you can throw my way. Help me retain some of my patrons. You seem to be the expert on that. I seem to be doing a good enough job because you've been sticking around, and I thank you for your support on Patreon. If you value what I do, if you think what I did this week was truly wild, if you've always said to yourself, I should probably join that one of these days, I think that day is today. Today is today to become a member and support the pod you love at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast, or download the Patreon app and find me on there. Now, once upon a time, in a borough far, far away in the Bronx, many moons ago in 2017, I arranged 5 allegedly generous men to go down on my friend Roxanne, who was sexually frustrated and just wanted some good head. These men came over one by one. I interviewed them about what they do, and then they had 12 minutes to make a first impression on my friend using tongues and fingers only. Penis stays in the pants. After I brought him out, we did a little post-game interview. I shoved him out the door, and then Roxanne got on the mic to let us know how it really went. Last week, you heard Roxanne and I go back to the well and recall that experience. And if you haven't heard the original oral sex auditions, whoa, I thoroughly encourage you to scroll on back to episode 180 and possibly listen to it during a cold shower. There is at least a 62% chance you will misinput something into a spreadsheet at work if you listen to today's episode or the original episode while at the office. That's just a risk you take. Anyways, this week is the Oral Sex Auditions Part 2, the sequel. I gave 5 women the opportunity to receive some no reciprocation oral and then badmouth a man. They were recruited from all over the place. One woman from the Hacienda community. There was another from Reddit. There were a couple of them came in from Instagram. One chick even brought her girlfriend to get in on the fun. They each arrived at their appointment times, and then I had 15 minutes to do my best to make a first impression, to try to clear what is culturally a very low bar. Roxanne returns as our special guest host, and she conducts the pregame and postgame interviews and the low-key therapy sessions with me after each one. Now, we recorded this back in May, so I only just found out what these women had to say about me about like a week and a half ago when I finally started editing this thing. I am so excited to bring it to you. It has been an honor and a physical pleasure to serve y'all week in and week out every Wednesday for nearly a decade. I hope this week's episode makes you giggle, makes you think, makes you a little squirmy in your seat. Got a couple ads in there to help pay the bills, and then we're getting to it. I can't believe I'm finally releasing this. This is so absurd. And so similarly, like watching so much stand-up comedy as a kid, like in high school and shit, I picked up early on like, oh, I should be giving oral and I should try to do a decent job.
I commend you for paying attention. You started the listen to women thing way before it became popular. Congratulations, Billy.
I am not a trend. No, I did not start nothing. I just... Cool, because like in comedy, it's like it's only funny if there's like at least a morsel of truth. So when I saw it being such a trend among so many comics saying things in the 90s and 2000s, I was like, I guess that's something people do and I should not. So then like, I mean, like, you know, first time I even saw a vagina in person, I was like drunk at a New Year's Eve party sophomore year of high school. And like, I went down on her, like we were making out, and then like I went down on her for like that was the first thing that happened, like after we started taking clothes off.
Did you take the initiative for it, or did she direct you?
No, like I just knew like I should do this first because I will probably come easier. That's what I heard and read and saw in movies and TV. So I just went and did that. I think I did a decent job based off the noises that were made, and then she sucked my dick and like for 5 minutes. And when I was younger, I wasn't sure how long a blowjob should be. So
okay.
After like 5 minutes, I decided, okay, we're good. So like I didn't come from anyone touching my dick until senior year of high school. But yeah, so I guess I just do everything. I guess I eat pussy so women won't make fun of me for not.
You know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that reasoning. I mean, you enjoy doing it, though. I mean, I would imagine you're not doing this because you don't enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's hot for starters to see someone like receive pleasure. I like doing things that make people feel good, and I also like that it seems like I know what I'm doing. Maybe we'll find out.
We will see.
But
we're testing this out now.
When I'm going down on someone, if after several minutes, I just feel like I don't even know that she's having a good time, maybe because she's quiet, she's silent, maybe she's not having those involuntary muscle reactions. Maybe I've tried a couple different things and I'm getting nothing. At some point, I might just stop and be like, hey, like, you want me to do something? I'm going to ask questions because I don't like to be down there and not know what I'm doing. My ego can handle that, but it feels even worse to be inside of someone and not feel like I know what I'm doing with them.
What was like probably your worst going down on a girl experience?
The most embarrassing one to me, maybe this is most pertinent to what we're doing here, is like there was a Hacienda party I went to. I'm going to guess it was 2019. I was sleeping with this woman. I would go down on her a lot. She really enjoyed that. And we were at a play party and there was another chick there who I'd always thought was super hot. I would see her at parties and be like, she's so fucking hot. No way I'm going to approach her without any not unless there's an at the time I was not uncomfortable saying, hi, my name is. So I was like, well, she hasn't given any indication she'd be into me. She's super stupid hot, whatever. So at one point, me and the woman I was sleeping with are chatting, and I would say S and K. S goes, K, you have got to have Billy eat you out. He is so good at it. And she hypes me up.
Don't oversell. Just
really sold it. And again, Kay and I have never touched each other. I don't even know if Kay thinks I'm attractive. Kay and I go immediately downstairs. I asked to kiss her because I'm like, I would like to feel connected to something. I don't even know if you think I'm attractive or pretty, whatever. And then like I quickly go down her, and man, I just did not get a single like sign of anything. And I spent what felt like an eternity on my knees between her legs, doing everything I could think of. And it's also loud. It's a sex party. There's loud music. There's loud fucking noises.
So it's hard to tell if she's making any noise.
It's hard to communicate too much, like, especially when it's someone brand new. It was just, I felt so self-conscious not knowing what I was doing on this particular, pussy. And so eventually we kind of just like stopped. Okay, cool. We have not hooked up since. We chat at parties. We are very friendly. I have not, yeah. And then many months later, well, actually, I think it was like one of the first parties out of the pandemic. We were chatting with some other people, and Pussy came up, and it turned out she totally forgot that this even happened.
Ouch.
So I had to remind her that I poorly ate her pussy.
Okay,
if I kept my mouth shut, maybe we could have tried again. I don't know. But anyways, that in my adult life was probably the worst one, and it was just not a good setup. I got oversold, and I got really self-conscious. And maybe that's why I'm doing this today is because last night I'm trying to get ready. I'm doing the final coronations and with all these participants, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, as in, because the reason we did it for you was you were sexually frustrated. There is an issue where like men are not like going down on women. I think they're starting to catch on, but then there's this competency gap, maybe we'll call it. And so, that's why we did it, because you reach out complaining, and I said, let's hold auditions. And so now I was like, well, that just seemed like a really funny episode to do if I went down multiple, because wouldn't it be funny if I'm not good? Wouldn't that be funny if the Man or Podcast guy ain't good at this? So that was originally why I even pitched this. But I was thinking last time, I was like, emotionally, why is this seeming the call to me? And I've been really self-conscious sexually for the last like 3 years or so, three-ish years. And I remember coming out of COVID thinking, I kind of want to like audit couples fucking. Like I want to see what people's stroke games are like these days. Like, what are the kids doing now? I want to update a potential skill set and see like how do people literally fuck. And I've talked about this recently, I think in a Patreon bonus episode a few months ago, where I've also typically had a lot of partners who come really easily. And then, I had Wallet Note Lady who like she come during fucking intercourse. I knew that woman's body, and our bodies knew each other, and our bodies craved each other, and our bodies just could come over and over again with each other. We'd have intercourse, and she'd come like 2 or 3 times just from that part. And like, I could feel it like gripping around me when she is just, to know someone's body so fucking well. And then I had such a heart aching 2022 with the ups and downs and the multiple breakups. And I just feel like I've lost some sexual confidence. And so, yeah, so maybe that's why. Maybe this is Billy trying to get his groove back.
Love it. I mean, and how do you feel about these like kind of one-off episodes that aren't like your regular, let me bring an ex on here to dive into my sexual past and why things didn't work out? Is this kind of like a nice break from that for you sometimes?
I mean, these are really fun to do. I call them like stunt episodes. Watched a couple fuck at Desire Resorts and did commentary through the like sliding glass doors. I mean, we did a stunty bonus episode with the Front Porch Swingers where Brian and I tried to carry on a normal conversation while Brenna kept like switching back and forth blowing us. That was fun. The naked episodes. These are all really fun. Sometimes they're a logistical headache.
Sure.
Like this one has already been proving to be. We're 11 minutes past when the first guest is supposed to be here. But yeah, they're really fun to do. These are some of my favorite ones. I've always wanted to interview an orgy, like a whole orgy as the orgy.
That would probably be a bigger logistical nightmare than this one.
Well, I feel like that one would have to be a bunch of porn people shooting an orgy scene.
That would be an interesting.
So we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you, Billy.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're gonna gear up for our first guest, and the next time you hear me, I mean, you might just hear noises of me. But the first time you'll hear me will be me nervously telling you how I think it went.
And I get to do the interview. My first time leading. Yay.
Handing it all off to Roxanne.
I'm Samantha. I'm 28.
So, how are you feeling? That's probably the most integral question right now.
I'm feeling pretty good right now. Ready to go.
Oh, wow.
Ready to be a bitch if necessary.
Love it.
I'm hype.
What has been your general experience with men going down?
Well, I'm pretty demanding, so if they aren't doing what I want them to, I generally will give pretty specific instructions, and I'm really not afraid to like stop them and like give them a like lesson, or I'll touch myself first and be like, do you see where I'm reacting to where it feels good? Like, go there.
Oh my God, I love to hear this.
I'm really demanding because it's like, it's my time. So you have to give me what I want.
Amazing. Have you always been this way, or what? Did you have like a bad experience that made you go, I need to be this way?
I kind of have in general always been pretty demanding, specifically with like oral sex on me. I didn't really know how to give instructions. And then the more that you like just figure out like this feels good if you do it all the time, it's easier to dole out those instructions.
Fair.
But yeah, for the most part, I'm kind of always demanding.
Love it. I know it's on here. It's like you have just like confidence in the bedroom. Where do you think that comes from? Like, is it you're demanding and it's always been like responded to well?
Just to be honest, I'm also hot, so
You really are. She's absolutely gorgeous, guys.
So it's like when I get in there, in my mind, I'm like, they're so lucky to be here with me right now. So I know I'm going to have such a good time because I look at myself and I'm like, I'm so hot. Like, they're going to love this because I'm hot and I'm here. So it's probably where the confidence comes from.
I love it. I love to hear it. So you described yourself as the neighborhood slut during the like preliminary questions. Please tell me all about it.
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, I'm very slutty. I'm very open. I don't really like something I've kind of learned through just hooking up a lot is that like good sex and good pussy eating doesn't have a face. So I'm like, I'm very into just like anyone or anybody that's really willing and giving. And so I've gotten around. I've gotten around. That's it.
Oh, we love a good ethical sluttiness.
Yeah,
that is the best
ethical
part.
sluttiness.
Is this maybe like the weirdest first, like kind of somebody like we've got microphones in your face before you even go up?
No.
Really? Do tell.
This doesn't feel like the weirdest thing I've done, which maybe it's like recording yourself or like having someone record you already. It's sort of along that vein. There's just a microphone. Mm-hmm. I'd say like, I don't know. This doesn't make me feel as like out there as maybe other things I've done.
Are you willing to tell me what your weirdest thing might be?
Well, okay. So like when I was in college, I was hooking up with a guy in the military. We're not going to talk about it.
Bless your heart.
But when he was like stationed somewhere, he asked permission, which we love.
Yes.
If people could ask for requests of things I could do and if they could watch it on the projector. So like I'd get like a text request from one of the guys, I don't know, Army staff sergeants, whatever, being like, can we see you do this with a dildo? And then I would send a video back and then they'd watch it on a projector. And I did that for like 2 hours for them.
Oh my God, I love it.
Honestly, in retrospect, I should have charged, but I was just like living for like the sluttiness of it all.
That is amazing. And Billy's usually the comedian, but you served our troops well. Thank you.
Thank you. Braver than the troops.
I love it. If there is one thing that a guy could do wrong when going down on you, what would it be?
Not being receptive to feedback and somehow using teeth, which it's like crazy enough. Like sometimes people do get like really into the sucking or sucking so much that like you feel teeth going on and it borders onto painful.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think teeth would be an issue, but teeth can be in the equation and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then also just not being willing to like adapt to what I need or want and making it about you, because it's not really about you for this specific act. So
I love that. And so very true.
thank you.
I'm going to get Billy. How was it?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I think I said, oh my God, a lot during that. Oh my God. She's so fucking hot. It's so stupid. It's so stupid how hot she is. I have physical confirmation I did a pretty good job.
What was that physical confirmation, Billy?
The multiple loads inside my stomach right now.
That is definitely a sign.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I'll stop being whatever. I walked in the door and it was just beautiful. I asked if I could kiss her and we started making out. We had a really nice makeout session and then eventually, you know, it's just, I'm like, I just wanted to like feel her. I just wanted to like travel her body with my hands. It was like stupid. Okay. I gotta have some chill. Like I haven't hooked up with a hot person before. I got her, like, you know, when we started to like get to it, it was great how communicative she was. She gave a lot of instructions when she needed it, and I loved that. I think not enough people give instructions when they need, and they'll be like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna let him do that, and maybe we'll stumble upon an orgasm. But like, you know, at one point she said, can you start softer? And then like we were doing this, and, like when I was fingering her, she said at one point, I don't like to be fucked with fingers. I want like pressure and stroking of like the G-spot. Okay. And like, I know what to then do with that information. And I was like noticing that like early on, she would like pull up, like she would reach to like her pubis area and kind of like pull a bit. And what that does is it pulls kind of a lot of more skin than just what you're pulling, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't just pull the pubis, it starts to pull like labia and pull like inner labia out, and it pulls the clitoral head back. And now, so I was noticing that and so then at some point, like I'm doing that myself. And she said, oh, I really like that. It was just a really hot communicative experience. It took a minute. It took like a few minutes to like get our groove.
Yeah.
But she was helping us find that. And then when we found it, like, whoa.
So she was looking for Klimt and mentioned like you got into different angles. What are these different angles?
Well, when I was like fingering her, I feel like I'm being like analyzed after like an ESPN Ocho matchup. You know, Roxanne. So like in the third quarter, you know, I really felt like I need to. Like I am kneeled at her side, but my head's like down in the situation while I'm fingering.
Interesting.
And just so like cause I learned this from Kenneth Play. I have not mastered it, but Kenneth Play somewhere on Pornhub has like a video instructional on how to like finger properly. But the something I took away from it was the idea of to let loose the stress of your forearm to like get your shoulder into it. So if I play around with the angle, sometimes I can do more of a whole, like my shoulder is actually doing the movement as opposed to just double tapping the mouse, which is stressing like your forearm and everything.
Okay.
So that can get tiring. And so before I even got tired, I was like, well, let's use other muscles in this entire arm thing. And so yeah, I did that for a while, and she squirted, and I like cleaned her up, and we took a quick pause. And then when we started up again, I got back down in there because I was like, I want to catch some of this. She's like a big squirter. So the second time around, she just like filled my mouth. I swallowed, and then she filled it again and swallowed and filled. And so I've swallowed multiple loads of this hot babe, and I was a big fan.
Love it. So confidence is feeling good. How is your confidence feeling there, Billy?
I haven't not smiled since I left the room.
I know. She was fantastic and super sweet. And yes, fucking hot.
Can't wait for the next one.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
So Samantha, how'd it go?
It was pretty good. Yeah. I would say it was a good time.
Did you have to give much direction?
I gave instructions when necessary. He had pretty good instincts, but I wasn't afraid to be like, go softer, come up, use a finger, take a sniff before, all that jazz.
Love. So How was the experience for you? So
Oh,
he
it was
comes in-
positive. I mean, I came, so we j'adore that.
Yes,
We-
absolutely.
We j'adore an orgasm. Well, he was very excited. The first thing he said when he walked in after, "Oh my God, you're so hot," is, "Why are you on Reddit?" He was like, why are you on Reddit? Which I thought was very funny. Good icebreaker to the moment.
Was it like, because I don't know if there's anyone out there. There are many types of orgasms. Unlike, it was a quick, easy orgasm. It was a big one. Like,
If I'm coming, it's mostly explosive. I don't really have super like small ones.
really?
Yeah, I almost exclusively have explosive ones. So, which is why it's important for me to give instructions, because I don't have soft orgasms or come at all unless
Unless they hit the right cheat
unless
code.
they hit the right cheat code, especially.
Interesting. So Billy gets a thumbs up on his performance?
He gets a thumbs up. He was willing to slurp it all up, which I appreciate.
Oh my. I love that. Is there anything you would give him as like constructive criticism?
Not really. He listened to what I wanted, and he asked beforehand if stuff was okay.
Oh, we do love some good consent.
We do love some consent of like, can I do this? Can I go harder? Can I go here now? Which is cool. We love that.
I love that. I also have to say, you physically have like that flushed look, and I'm like, yes, she got it.
I did get it. It's true. The rumors are true. It was interesting. He tried angles that most people don't try. So it's just on my back.
Oh.
Most people just are like, he like got up and got very involved. It was almost, yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Interesting.
But he got
Yeah, 'cause
up on
usually
the
they
bed
just-
to hit a new angle. That's all. But he was a very excited licker. So that's cool.
Love it. And no teeth.
And no teeth.
Thank God.
No teeth. Yeah.
I love it.
My name is Alex, and I'm 30.
How are you feeling?
I mean, a little nervous. I just drove in here from Jersey, so that was a long drive, but excited.
Love. You drove all the way from Jersey.
I mean, I hear Billy's really good.
I mean, having reviews first is helpful. Like,
right?
I wish all men came with reviews. Like, I could just
Exactly.
kind of check. How did you come to find yourself here? Like,
One of my partners introduced me to Billy's podcast, and then I slid into Billy's DMs about a month ago, and then he happened to be recruiting for this. I was like, yeah, might as well go fuck Billy.
well, I mean, we are doing the oral skills challenge. I've gone through the experience.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You sounded like you had a lot of fun.
I'm so glad you heard that one.
No, that way he was like, he sent me the episode and he was like, okay, you need to hear Roxanne do this. And then we're recruiting.
I love it. Yes, definitely a good time. So what is your general experience with men giving oral?
It's kind of rocky. I've been E&M, so ethically non-monogamous, for a couple of months now. And my prior experience to that is pretty limited with men giving good oral or oral at all. So it's been a learning experience on both sides, because I can't teach you how to give me oral if I don't know what kind of oral feels good, because nobody's done it before. So I do have a few partners who are okay at oral, but I wouldn't say I've had anybody good yet.
Interesting. Okay. So would you say that from the ethically non-monogamous, it's gotten better?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm married to my husband, and we're high school sweethearts. So if what I can't teach you how to do, like, your skill set is the same as it was in high school. So if I can't teach you how to do oral after that, like, I need outside tutoring, let's call it.
I like that. There should be oral tutors around the world. I fully agree. So have you done any hookups with people that weren't cis men, women?
Actively seeking women to hook up with. However, as most of the men in New York will tell you, it's actually very difficult to find women. So I've actually just been hooking up with my male partners, female partners. So a lot of group things. That's how I've been hooking up with women lately.
Interesting. So has a woman not given you oral yet?
No, I don't think so.
Have you given a woman oral?
Yes.
Ah.
Her husband was fucking me from behind. It was great.
How do you think you did?
I made her come. First time's a charm. Apparently I'm good at it.
Oh, I mean, good job. I mean, we know our bodies.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got really bad oral?
Oh, God, on Tuesday. It was a first date, and I usually come with toys, and I kept being like, okay, you need to, like, break out a toy. They're in my bag. They're right there. And he was like, no, I want you to come on my fingers. And I was like, okay, we're going to be here a while. And we were.
So on this, like, first day, I mean, you brought toys. You were ready.
I always bring toys.
You are always ready. Are you a Girl Scout? I'm thinking, oh, I love this.
Yeah. And I'm married to an Eagle Scout.
That is amazing and priceless, and I love it. So you're always ready, which is fabulous. Like, was this date kind of talking it up beforehand? Like, did he talk a good game? Did he describe himself in any way?
Yes. I told him I was seeking a pleasure dom, so somebody to kind of, like, instead of control me using pain, to, like, control me using pleasure. And he was, like, totally into the idea. But it was one of a few men I've encountered who talk big game and then cannot execute.
We are well aware of this phenomenon.
Yes.
Yeah. So was he the worst of those big talkers? Like, what?
Oh, God, no.
Like, tell me the story, girl.
Oh, God. So I tend to date a little older than myself. This one was about 25 years older than myself. Talked great game. Super sweet. Could not keep up. He was very slow in bed. He was, like, very gentle. And I was like, no, I need you to go harder. I need you to, like, you know, do something. He's like, no, I'm going to go slow and sensual. And I was like, fuck me.
You're like, literally, fuck me, please.
Yes, I'm tired of staring at your bald spot. Please fuck me.
Oh, God. So do you feel that you give direction well in bed? Like, you tell them what you want, but you're just not getting it.
Yeah, I generally tell them what I want, and then most of the time I'm just not getting it. I mean, at least for me, my clitoris isn't that, like, sensitive, so I really need penetration with, like, fingers or toys or something, and all dudes are like, they're finally woke enough to know where the clitoris is. But when you tell them, like, hey, I need G-spot stimulation, it's, like, too many things. It's, like, tapping your head and rubbing your tummy. It's, like, one too many things for most men.
So would you say you don't, like, do you know how you like oral, or are you still trying to find it?
It's definitely still trying to find it.
Do you know what you don't like?
I mean, I don't like slow and sensual.
Is this the weirdest first date you've had?
No. It'd be the guy 20 years older.
Well, yeah. I mean, did you have a microphone in your face before and after?
No.
So what made that weirder than this?
Well, okay, so it wasn't the first date with him, it was the second date. I was really lonely, so I invited him back for a second date, and he brought his wife, and she sat in the corner and didn't participate.
How did that make you feel?
Uncomfortable, and then she actually got up in the middle, and then he decided he probably should follow her out because she seemed kind of upset.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is so awkward.
That's okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, Billy, how was it?
It was fun.
Like, you and Alex, like, you come walking in. What's your first impression? What were you thinking?
It's a good probing question. You notice how I started with a one-word answer and said, "Your move, motherfucker."
And I moved.
It was really fun. I didn't know what this woman looked like either. Like Samantha. I mean, I kind of had an idea of, like, some body type. It was interesting because, like, we start off kissing, and I don't think we ever, like, I don't know if we ever got, like, kissing synchronicity set up. Does that make sense? Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know how it's like, it's not bad. It was just more, it wasn't bad kissing. It was more like, I kept trying to, like, figure out how to kiss this woman. Mm-hmm. But it was, you know, I was just instead focusing on all the places my hands were going, because she had this, like, she had a nice thick body, so she had, like, really grabbable thighs and this, like, big ass and great big titties, and, like, just there's a lot to grab on her, and it was really fun. She gave me a hint ahead of time that like penetration was key. So I was licking and not sure like how long should I lick before I move that in, because normally that's like a later stage. That's like a end of the second act thing for me when I'm going to get the fingers in if I'm just doing oral.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, it's like, well, we start and we build up to that. But some people are just more like, oh, you don't have to lick me at all, just finger me. Or some people are like, finger me with the lick. So I didn't know when to put the fingers in. But eventually, I don't know, I figured it out. Yeah, I don't know. My head's like not completely working. I did just come. So it's like, Billy, I thought you were supposed to keep your penis in your pants. I did. I followed instructions. And then they had the recap. And then she's like, actually, could Billy come back in the room? So I did.
Yep.
And there were less rules for that portion.
Definitely took your time and had a good time, I'm assuming, because I was in the other room going, oh, okay.
It took like, yeah, it was, I don't know like how graphic. I told you I'm feeling like self-conscious about getting graphic. I think I did a good job.
Did you make her come?
She ejaculated for sure. I don't know. Okay, when we came back in a second time, like we're fooling around, I'm going down to her and fingering her again. And then at one point she said, do you want to make me really come? And so I was like, yeah, sure. So she got her Hitachi wand out. So she held the Hitachi on her clit and like I fingered her. And I think that Hitachi could give me carpal tunnel. That's a high vibration right on my wrist. That can't be good, orthopedically speaking. But, you know, it was a great assistant. I'm not intimidated by a sex toy like displacing me in a bedroom. I'm just like nervous that like I'm going to be injured in a process.
I love that you and I have that same fear, because I have a Hitachi wand and there are times where I'm like, you're using this way too much. You're going to cause early onset arthritis or something.
Well, I don't know, bitch, get a wrist guard. But like me, you know, like I have, because like with the way it's configured is like basically like it's basically in the palm of my hand. The bulb is in the palm of my hand while my fingers are in, right? And then I'm just up here like making out with her. She's like tugging on my dick. So it's just like I'm like cupping it. So I'm just getting all the vibration in my hand.
Yeah.
While trying to also do the thing.
Do the thing. That's the best description.
Doing the double click. It's
okay. Double click.
So,
we're getting
yeah.
hints on your technique over here.
But yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. A lot of making out. And then like when I came back in, she really wanted to like touch my penis, and I totally let her.
I mean,
and good times were had by all.
We love it when everyone has a good time.
Would repeat. Mm-hmm. Good time. I'm nervous that I might with the next one have to be with my right hand, and like I'm not this. I can use my right. I'm not as confident in my right. I'm confident in the strength of my right. I'm just not confident of the rhythm of my right. It's like my left side's from Harlem. It's got a lot of rhythm, and the right side's from Idaho. And you're just like, it's like that guy from Footloose, and you're just trying to teach him how to keep a fucking beat. It's like, come on, Chris Penn.
Okay,
my left side's Chuck Berry. My right side's Chris Penn in Footloose. That's what I'm trying to communicate.
Do we need to ice you down? Is this like a sporting event? We need to start like giving you some aftercare?
Actually, yeah. But I only have like 11 minutes to this lady's here. So I'm just going to go with the right and hope that's good enough. And it's kind of like when you rest LeBron because like he's injured. But look, if it's game 7, something you have to put him in. So if I'm not getting it done with the bench, I'm going to have to bring out like an injured starter.
That is such a guy way of putting it. But basically, you're going to muscle through.
Something like that.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So, Alex, how was it?
Excellent. Would do again.
Oh, okay. Well, that took care of the would do again question I had. So,
Yeah.
what made it so excellent? Let's hear it.
I mean, he took the feedback that G-spot play, and like it was very important, and like how to play with the clit, and he was excellent. Like he took the feedback. He fucking listened to a woman for once on how to get her off.
We love a man that listens.
Yeah, right?
We love a man that cares to listen.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, comparing to like your bad experiences, you're just like, oh, this is closer to what I'm looking for in the realm of being given oral.
Oh, I could be given this every day and be happy.
Yes. Oh, oral every day would be nice. I need to get a boyfriend.
Boyfriends and husbands. It's nice.
Yes, I mean, I think I might follow your lead. Let's just start collecting them and then training them.
And then I've got a few in this city. I got a few up north where I travel for work. It's great.
Love it. Now we just need to send Billy out to train the men.
Yeah.
Let's train the men. So, I mean, you would definitely see him again. You enjoyed. Is there any constructive feedback, or you're like,
no. I mean, I had oral from 4 different guys this week, and he ranks in one of the guys listens to the podcast, so I'm not going to say he ranks in the top 1 out of 4, but he ranks in the top half.
one is a fan of the Man Whore podcast.
Yes, that's how I got introduced to Billy in the first place.
Oh, I love this. Love this. So he's going to be hearing this episode, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. And he's going to cheer you on?
Oh, yeah.
He better.
Yeah.
I love it. So Billy's up there, and gentleman fan. By no means is this a competition, but if you want to take care of our girl more and more and more, I mean, oral every day would be lovely.
Yes, please. Please, Daddy, come fuck me every day. We both know you want to.
Betty Wiles, and I'm 37.
I'm Carly S., and I'm 35.
Alrighty, so we have both Carly and Betty with us at the same time. So how are both of you feeling?
Hey.
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
What is your general experience of receiving oral, specifically from men?
I mean, I love oral, giving and receiving. It's probably like up there. It's one of my faves. Receiving from men has been pretty terrible. Like my primary partner is amazing, but almost every other man that's ever gone down on me in my life, I've been disappointed. It's funny, I listened to your episode and I fully related to the like, I love it, I could spend hours down there. And then like less than 2 minutes.
You didn't come yet?
Yeah.
Like, and like whatever, but like at least take direction. But I feel like I'm pretty good about giving direction and they don't take it. It's just like, it's annoying to me. Carly is my inspo though, because I feel like she will let someone stay down there forever. And like, I'm just like, if you don't get it right after a few minutes, I'm like, fuck it, let's move on.
Yeah, I am a famous pillow princess. Like, everybody knows that about me. I will let someone go down on me until they break their jaw. So, I will let them die trying. Sometimes they will literally die trying because they are terrible. And I teach classes. I am very good at communicating. And I will tell them like harder, softer, left, right, and still they can't take direction sometimes. It's just amazing the lack of listening and following directions that cis men really have an issue with.
Yeah, I'm seeing a theme here, everyone. Listening.
There's a theme.
And exactly, like, you are a teacher. Mm-hmm. You are a sexual educator. Mm-hmm. You know what you're saying. Yeah. So, like, do you think they're intimidated?
People are always intimidated, especially because, like, my house is full of sex toys. It's intimidating to walk into my space, I would say, especially, like, as a cis dude, seeing, like, all these sex toys and, like, lots of really giant dicks. So, I can understand being intimidated, but, like, if I'm there and I'm like, I want your mouth, and I'm telling you what to do with your mouth, and you still can't do the thing with your mouth, then there's nothing I can do about that.
What sold you on doing this, Betty? Like,
I mean, I never like for a friend to hoe alone. So I believe in the buddy system whenever possible, especially, I mean, obviously this is safe space and I knew you'd be here. But I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, if we're going together, if it's like a nightmare, we can leave together.
I do like safety in numbers and making sure you've got, support girls around you is definitely huge. Exactly. I love that. So we talked about men giving oral. Like, what has been your guys' experience with women giving oral or you giving oral? Like
Much better. Not for you?
Not
No?
for me. I don't know what it is, but like straight women love me. So like I give them amazing head and change their life. And then they like do that like licking a battery thing on me where it's like the jolting of the tongue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I've had way worse experiences with like women going down on me.
Oh, I haven't. One thing that I found really interesting is my primary partner, who's like a cishet man, I asked him when we opened our relationship up and I was going to be going down on women, I was like, tell me about it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Or even just articulating what I like. I was like, what do I like? Tell me so that I can tell other people, because I'm going to have to start explaining this now. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, yes, you do, because you can do it in under 5 minutes every time. And he's like, honestly, I'm just paying attention to your breathing and your body movements. And I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. But yeah, like I feel like it's all about whether or not they're paying attention. Mm-hmm. It's funny hearing you say that you think that it's because they're intimidated. Don't get me wrong. I do think men are highly intimidated by me, but I feel like it has more to do with ego than intimidation. I get the vibe that like they just are like, oh, that was enough. Yeah. Like, let's move on to the star of the show.
Yeah.
You know, I just get the impression that they don't care enough. They haven't thought about whether or not we're enjoying it because, you know, what's being modeled to them in media is like, do it for 3 seconds and then stick it in. Yeah. So I think that's what they're used to.
Like, oh, it's wet enough. Let's jam it in now.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my favorite, it's like, it doesn't need to be wet. I can just quickly spit, and that's enough, right? You're good.
Yeah, when I was 22, maybe.
Yeah.
Need a little help now.
I was never like that. I was like, oh, you're not going down on me for an hour? Then you gotta go.
Oh my God.
See?
I know. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I gotta take notes. Like, I even dated a man who said he doesn't like doing it, so he never will.
Oh, no.
And that didn't last longer than a month.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that would immediately be like, bye-bye.
Red flag. Red flag right there. When was the last time you got bad oral?
Maybe like a month ago. Maybe, yeah.
I don't remember the date, but I remember the person. Shout out to that person on the apps, but they were like, I love eating pussy, and then they just like chewed on my fucking bits.
The chewing.
Yeah, and I was just
chewing?
I was
the intense pressure.
Yeah, I was like, you're at like a 15, you got to bring it down to like a 3.
Right.
And then they brought it to like an 11, and I was like,
or just like aggressively flicking, or like the chin stubble, like pressing it against the vulva.
I don't even mind like the aggressive flicking,
why?
but like the chewing.
But
like,
not from the get. Like I'm like more like gentle and indirect. You have to work your way up to that. You don't go in at a 10.
Absolutely agree. And also, why teeth?
Why teeth?
That's a preference, y'all. You asked.
Exactly.
Maybe we should just reciprocate.
I was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wishes.
I'm not going to put sharp object against the most sensitive part of your body. Why do you think you can do it to mine?
Right.
No. That was the sex god from my episode. Ow.
The sex god.
So, do you have in a moment of like your best oral? Like, do you have something that is like your level there? You like, you must hop this bar to achieve this title of good oral giver?
You do? You're shaking your head. Yes. You're like, yeah, no,
I mean,
exactly.
like my primary partner, like that's the
I was gonna
the bar.
say same.
Yeah, like that's why they're the primary.
That's why we lock them down.
Yeah, exactly.
They genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my primary literally like is fully erect the whole time.
Yeah,
could stay
same.
down there for a long time.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm like when I look down and I'm like, oh, you're not hard. You're not having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a bummer.
It is. Yeah, it definitely, like, because you and I can relate. Like, sometimes you feel that guilt and you're like, oh, you're down there for a while and this isn't working for me. Oh, I know you.
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
don't feel that guilt.
But I would easily say second place was a girl at a play party, actually. And like, I don't know, like she fucking killed it. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Like right out of the gate. But she also just like would look up at me, and her eyes were she was so pretty, and she smelled good, which like means a lot to me. And she like looked up and she was like, do you like this or do you like this? And she would like do like an A-B. And I was like, oh, like that. She's like, okay, do you like flicking up and down or left and right? And I was like, she's so pretty and she's asking me questions. Like, yes.
I was just saying there, I'm like, oh my God, the communication. But the second you said sexy optometrist, I'm like, I want to make that a t-shirt.
She was reading my bottom line, you know?
Yes. And so, kind of talked about how dudes are doing it wrong. How do you like it?
For me, it's a lot of teasing and a lot of gentle initially. Like, I feel like if you can like tease and edge me up, like the actual work is going to be minimal. Unless we've been going for a while and this is like round 2 or 3 or whatever, and then I need it aggressive. But like, honestly, less is more for me.
I like a lot of teasing too, but fun story, COVID gave me persistent genital arousal syndrome. So I need, I take pills that numb my pelvis. Otherwise, I'm just constantly in pain because it's not actually as sexy as it sounds. Yeah, it just is like you're constantly on the brink of orgasm, which sounds fun, but is actually really painful. It's like achy. So I numb my pelvis with these pills. So I need like really hard vibration, tongue, fucking, fisting, everything. So
yes, but no teeth.
But no
But
teeth.
never teeth.
But never fucking teeth.
What is it that you guys feel most confident when you go to bed? What is that confidence coming from, and how can other women probably like tap into it?
I mean, I'm just inherently confident.
Yeah, same. Carly and I are both like, I'm just fucking hot. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I've just always felt this way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and I've like fluctuated through all different body types. I just feel like for me, I've always felt like no one's stopping me from thinking I'm the hottest bitch in the room.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna stop me.
Yeah.
Like, have that Lizzo attitude of like, I am that bitch.
Yeah.
Because like, if they call you on that, like, okay.
Yeah, if you're not interested in fucking me, like, there's 10 other people that are.
Facts.
Yeah.
I love that. More, just embrace it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We're hot. We need to start
it's
telling
so
ourselves
mental.
that.
It's so mental. Like, I feel like all throughout my life, no matter what my body has looked like I've always had friends be like, I wish I had your confidence. I wish you had whatever. And it's like, it's really just like, I just believe that. Like, I don't really care what other people are perceiving. Like, I feel good about myself, and like, that's what I'm going to put out there.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I wear things that make me happy. I, like, put things on my body that makes me happy, and, like, that just makes me feel happy.
Where's your most confidence in bed?
I mean, I just think I'm really hot. I think I look good from every angle. I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like being a pillow princess is really enjoyable, but like, I think that I look hot when I'm working hard. Like, I'm just like, I'm a go-getter. I want to be told that I'm doing a good job. So even if it might not feel like the best, like if I think that I'm like giving, if I really think that I'm like looking like I'm working hard, then I feel hotter. I mean, I'm very good at head, at least with dicks.
Yeah.
I'm a head queen.
Do you have a special skill set that you're using for that? Is there a trick to it?
Well, they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. No, I just genuinely love it. I don't know. I just have always been a fan, so I feel like because I love it, it doesn't feel like a chore.
Could that be said the same for like having somebody go down on you? If they don't love it, you can tell.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And you're like, I'm a pillow princess, ladies, gentlemen. You are here to serve me, and I need to embrace that. I need your like confidence and your like
Same.
I need to
Same, sis.
I need this. This is like I'm getting inspired right now. Yes. Is this the weirdest? He puts it down as a first date, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is weird. Let's be honest.
This is weird.
So, is this the weirdest thing you've done?
No. Not at all.
It's probably the weirdest thing I've done this week.
Yeah, this is the weirdest thing I've done in a while, but like not overall. I've led a very interesting life.
So, what was the weirdest?
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna keep that one to myself. But it was weirder than this.
What about you, Betty?
I just feel like, I don't know, subscribe to find out. I don't want to give away all the details.
I love it.
That's what the fans are for.
And I mean, are you guys excited? How are you feeling? Like Curious.
I don't know, dude. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I just think this is funny. I'm like, this is hilarious to me. Like, I'm like, it's a little weird, but it's more than anything. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Our lives are so weird.
How you doing up there?
I'm doing great.
Carly, how'd it go?
You ever see like a ball game and they have like the physical trainer, like they take out like a player and he's just massaging the dude's calf muscle, right? Like my left arm needs that.
You need some assistance. You need like an actual person to like, because that's outside my job description, friend.
I don't know. You ever seen like any given Sunday and there's like shouting for some guy to like shoot him with like a pain medication? Just like, come on, man. I just need 3 more sacks to get my bonus. Come on, doc.
I mean, you're putting in work, Billy. You're putting in good work.
I feel like it. Carly's. Carly and I have been aware of each other for many years. I followed her on Twitter, like, back when she was like a baby sex blogger. Like, I mean, I was a baby podcaster, and so I've like, I did want to like embarrass myself. I was like, we got to put in some effort here. No, okay, let me be serious. Half serious for a moment. Half serious. This is an absurd thing that I'm doing.
Oh, this is hilarious. I am loving every second.
No, it was really fun. She asked if I could kiss her, and like she's got really like juicy kissable lips, and that was really hot, and that was a great start. Just she kept her whole dress on and just took her panties off, so she just hiked up the dress to like her waist, and I was like, interesting move. Is this like a power play? Are you trying? Is this like you don't get to see my titties till you make me come?
Ooh, also just efficiency.
Yeah.
I love that she does not mess around. I'm inspired by her.
Yeah. So it was dope. I definitely felt like I was trying to like figure. Again, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so flustered, but because I told her right before I dove in, I was like, if I'm bad, is this going to be like in the group chat to the sex blogger community? Is this, you're all going to be like, that fucking man whore guy's a fraud?
You are in luck, Billy. It was a good response.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to give you too many details. You get to listen to that on your own.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of like figuring out, and once I realized like what her, because she's not like loud, but she was like a consistent soft moan, and I wasn't sure if that meant like I wasn't doing a great job or I needed to build up. And once I got confidence in what those moans meant, then I just was like, okay, I can just keep doing what I'm doing. And then at a point she said, wow, you might like actually make me come in 15 minutes. I was like, oh shit, I'm not doing bad. Like once she said that, then I was like uber confident. Now I'm like all in there and I'm just like, I'm like, it was just like a lot of consistent licking of her clit. And at some point I like was putting the fingers in. That's when I got less confident because my good hand was a little tired from the first quarter with Alex, and then so like I was like switching hands a lot, trying to just like keep whatever I could going. And like it was another situation of like I'm not sure if she sputtered came in my mouth. I don't know if she did come. I just know that like it all of a sudden got like a lot more wet and a lot more delicious, and I just I don't know. My brain's not working completely, and now I'm gonna eat out her partner.
This is going to be so much fun. How was it?
It was pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Pretty good. Like on your scale of 1 to 10.
I would say a solid 8.
Ooh,
yeah.
That is a really good, pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I am also considering you the expert at this point. Yeah. So, like, tell me, like, things that you kind of, like, what stood out, good or bad?
I really love when someone is moaning into my pussy because it just shows that they are, like, down there enjoying it, and, like, nothing turns me on more than someone enjoying it. They waited till, like, few minutes in to add the fingers because like you can't do that too soon, and it was good finger stuff. Just good times.
Love that. And do you have any constructive criticism for him?
More than 15 minutes.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I was given orders.
It's okay.
Do you imagine that if he had longer time, it would be like a higher score?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I could feel that he was like trying to like fit things in 15 minutes. But like I understood that because of the time constraints of the experiment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So would you do it again with him?
I would. Yeah.
Yay. I love cheering on my friends' sex lives. I don't know why. I'm like, yes. And obviously, like, where can people find you? What are you up to? Give me some plugs.
I am Makeup and Sin on all of social media, and that's like Instagram, Twitter. If you play Pokemon Go, I am Makeup and Sin there. Like everywhere you could find a social media handle, it's Makeup and Sin. My blog is dildo-or-dildon't.com. And then if you want to see me like being sexy, my sexy alter ego is Chloe Venom. And I make porn, and you can watch me use the toys or fucking my friends on any sort of platform there. And that's just Chloe Venom. And you'll find that through Makeup and Sin because I have merged those.
Plus fingers. More mouth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right there.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So, Billy, how was it with Miss Betty?
You ever watch like a game and like they're doing great and they're like leading 18 points at the half, but you're looking at me like I don't even know what a point is.
I will nod and smile.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Well, but then like the third quarter, like they lose a chunk. They're not losing at the end of the third quarter, but like now they're only up 4 points. And, you know, there's a big. This is how that felt. I did not know how I was doing in any moment.
Interesting. How did that feel for you?
Felt like I was down there along. It was the same amount of time for both people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's you know, a comedian for any comic listening. It's just like when you're bombing, it feels like forever. And like, I don't know that I bombed, but like I had a bad set. Yeah, I got a couple chuckles, but like I don't think I did a great job. I really could not figure out. I was just having a hard time figuring it out.
Interesting. If you had more time, do you think you would have figured it out?
I think if we had like more time, like connecting, talking, there's at some point down there where I'm like, does she even think I'm cute? Like, is that part of this? Is that, you know, I was like, I did not know what was going on. At some point, then you start running out of what you're doing. And then, you know, I felt like I started improvising, like I was doing jazz, but I was doing bad jazz, which is most jazz. And like, because I would hear a lot of noises that seemed good. You know what it felt like? A lot of times it felt like I was giving her a very nice tongue massage. I was like, we're not going to get, it's just, this is very nice. It's like the massage you get at an airport. It's like a fine massage. But I never felt like I was doing great.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because like she's really, really pretty.
Yeah,
I think she's really pretty. I don't know if it's that I don't know if it's like the blue dress or just in general. I've seen photos of her. She's like a babe, and I feel like I disappointed a babe.
I will say you gotta. I think you give yourself more credit.
No, don't tell me now.
Fine.
I'm gonna hear it in post.
Fine.
Don't spoil it for me.
All right.
Let me sit here and wallow. I'm going to sit on the, you know, right now commercials are playing and I'm on the bench and I've got the towel over my head. It's maybe this is just NBA finals season is coming out of me right now. But
I'm starting to think we need to make oral an Olympic sport just from the way you describe this.
Well, we already know that, like, you know, Porno Jim is like a record holder then. It's because that analogy came up and I was like, if it was Olympic sport, how do you think he's like, I would medal.
He would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be honest with you. Feeling a little disheartened, but you know, she's a babe. I would if more time if she wanted to give me more time, I'd be like, I will take all the time to like try to learn how to do this right on you. I just don't think I did.
Okay. How is your physical?
Well, she didn't really need much fingering, so like I didn't, you know, got a good break.
Oh, nice.
I think I think Curry can come back in the game and sink threes again.
So much sports, Billy. How was it?
It was decent. It was decent.
All right, same question as Carly. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we falling?
I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay. So what were like some call outs, the good things like?
The good things. I mean, the stamina. I definitely feel like he could keep going. I feel like if I had given him 4 more minutes, I feel like he could have done it.
I apologize for the time constraints that I am forced to adhere to.
Totally get it. Yeah, stamina was good. I feel like he was fairly receptive to direction.
Any constructive criticism?
I mean, everybody's got their own thing. Sometimes it's a lot for me if I'm getting like a stubbly chin right in the vag. Like that distracts from like, I feel like there were good things happening clitorally, like there were good like labia moves, but like the chin is like distracting. I'd be like, oh, I like what's happening up top, but like that chin's like killing me. And like he was doing like a swooping thing where he'd like lick all the way down and up, all the way down and up. And I like want like a little bit more attention to like, if we only have 15 minutes, like stay up. You know what I mean? Like tease a little bit down there, but then like we have work to do.
I love it. Yes.
We're on a time constraint. Like, get out of there.
So would you partake again without the time constraints?
I don't know.
It's fair.
It's like mid. Like I'm like I could see it.
That works. That's fine. And of course, the very important question of where can people find you? What do we need to know about you? Plug away.
Yeah, so I am on OnlyFans. You can find me. I am Betty Wiles, Miss Betty Wiles, MSBETTYWILES.
I absolutely love it. Yay. Thank you so much, Betty.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Gina. I'm 33.
Hi, Gina.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm actually like a little bit sore from my day and looking forward to some relief and relaxation.
Oh, I like
pampering.
Oh, I love that we have an expectation level for Billy. We're gonna have to ask. We're gonna have to see if he crosses that bar. I love it.
My back hurts. I was working all day, so
yeah, time to just lay down and enjoy.
Exactly.
Love it. So, what is your general experience with men giving you oral?
Sparse at first, few and far between. Not as bad as fingering. Fingering somehow has not always been the greatest. But I have found when a guy goes down on me, it usually goes pretty well. But I'm pretty directive. So
love that. And do they usually take the direction?
Well, they have to.
So when was the last time you got bad oral?
I was actually trying to think of this. It's been a while. The last really memorable time was maybe like 6 years ago, 6 or 7, which is a good track record. There's not to say that there's probably not been like the greatest, but it's gotten infinitely better.
Do you remember like what made it so bad?
Yeah. It was just like the general, like, it was very aggressive and not receptive of direction.
You are a part of the Hacienda community, as I understand it.
Yeah.
So how do you find within that community, like, the giving and receiving of oral?
It's like a handshake. It's as ubiquitous of a greeting, or like, not a greeting, obviously. You're not going to go be like, hi. But it is kind of like, it's always on the table. It's kind of like making out. Or, maybe it's not like a handshake. It's like our version of making out.
Okay.
Maybe. It's like a step above, obviously, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking it that there's nobody in Hacienda that's like, oh, I hate oral.
Never. I have had people say I'm I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I am not confident. I've never done it before. It's a very like vulnerable thing, especially if it's something that you haven't really practiced before, you've been shamed about or all different kinds of things, right? Like there's a lot of like people have different experiences, and that is just, you're like, oh, okay. But like it's such a welcoming environment that you'll always be met with somebody who will be like, that's okay, I'll teach you.
I love a teacher.
Yeah.
So
I love being a teacher.
Yeah, we've talked about men giving bad oral. What's your general experience like outside of men giving oral? Like
with women, it's usually that they just haven't done it yet. I find that they're more eager to learn and excited and really receptive about feedback. And I think, like girls, like when we're socially conditioned to be that way. So it makes a lot of sense.
So true.
And men usually, maybe they have like been consistently doing it in a way that might not please everybody and not been given any kind of feedback. So it's kind of like reversing that mentality, which can be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of social conditioning is something like you're seeing playing
all
in
around.
this.
Yeah. And then I find that people, maybe non-binary, gender non-conforming, transsexual, like any of the rest of the gendered spectrum, it's completely conditional. It's about, your social conditioning, how much you've been exposed to opportunities with partners who understand themselves enough to be able to give good direction. Because that's the thing too, right? It's also on the receiver.
What about the Hacienda community you love?
You could just like be yourself.
Oh, I like that.
You can't go everywhere and express your love for multiple people or embrace your sexuality in a way that feels safe. And it's just a really comfortable. And I find that when people are not in their clothes, it's this kind of leveling of the field. You're all being like really vulnerable, right? You're like showing a lot of yourself in a different side that not everybody gets to see. And it makes for a very unique way to connect with other people.
I love that. Okay. And that actually makes a lot of sense. And unfortunately, we do have to wear clothes in the regular every day, unfortunately. So, like, is this the weirdest first date you've ever had?
Well, I don't know if it's a date, but it is the first time we're hooking up. That is very interesting because obviously, like, we're in the same community. I see him around at events. We know a lot of the same people. We slept with some of the same people. That's definitely like a little bit of a mind fuck where you're like, oh, what?
I'm like, well, I mean,
you're like, hi, nice to meet you, person that I've met before, but like, here's my vagina.
That is definitely a different way of meeting people, for sure.
Yeah. But also being a member of Hacienda, like I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's nice.
Nice. And
I'm helping out a friend.
I love that. And, talking a lot about the Hacienda community, is there a difference, in your opinion, like hooking up with men and getting oral from people within the community and then from without?
I actually don't date outside of our community.
Is there a reason?
I mean, I date people within other sex-positive communities in New York as well, but I do not date outside of the general bubble of sex-positive / polyamorous folks.
So is there like a conscious reasoning behind that?
I'm just not willing to like negotiate parts of myself that I have become really comfortable with. And I'm not willing to like minimize any part of my existence to whatever degree for anybody, really, for any reason.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds like, because even for me, like getting to this point, like finding that journey of like being in tune with myself, like I did the original one to be like, you know what? If men can do this, I can do this. Like, screw this, I'm doing it. So you're escaping the awkward Hinge dates where a guy's sitting there going like, I'm so good at it, blah, blah, blah.
It's not so long ago that I was using dating apps. I'm not saying I'll never use them again, but at this point I don't have to. And so I don't, because for me that's really like detrimental to my mental health. Yeah, I just don't like them.
So Billy, how you doing? How was this one?
So much fun. She's very fun. It felt like going down on someone brand new at a sex party, but without all the other people fucking around us, which makes sense for Gina because, you know, like we go to the same orgy. So, because there's something about, I think, at play parties where it's not, I don't know, someone might roll their eyes at this, but I do feel like there's a segment of the population that is really all about the good feelings of it and less the destination. So there was a real big like, oh, this is all about the journey, not the destination, man, you know, to it. It's like we were in like a, you know, like a hippie road trip movie. It's like, bro, we don't need no maps, man. So no, it was really fun. Like I felt confident that like she was always feeling good. I didn't know what was going to bring to a climax, but I wasn't really caring or focusing on that. I was just kind of like, this is fun. She's clearly having a good time. I enjoyed the eye contact and looking down at me. And so it felt a little more connected. You know, there's some where it was less connected and more like I was doing a thing. So that was nice. I like that.
And we got to keep up the sports metaphor. How's your hand doing? Are we going to make it to the next game?
Yeah. Well, because again, with Betty, I didn't have to do any much or any fingering, so well rested, could close the game out strong.
Yes.
Didn't get into any foul trouble. You know, it was
didn't have to throw a Hail Mary.
Different sport.
Okay, damn. I'm trying.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun, and I felt competent, and that it's nice to feel competent. Like with Betty, it was like, you don't want to feel like you're bombing because it then feels like forever. So it just felt like we were having like a lot of fun.
Awesome. Since you're both in the Hacienda, is this kind of like something you might pick up again? Like, would you want to pick it up again in here or at Hacienda or
if
wherever?
I know ahead of time she's interested, generally speaking, then I would approach. I've seen her at parties forever. I've just never approached her because I've never sensed any possible interest. And she's always like with people. So I also don't like get rejected.
How are we feeling?
Good. Relaxed.
That was the goal.
That was the goal.
Billy hit that?
I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any like favorite moments, things? What's up?
Yeah. So so I like a lot of fingers. And he just, you know, had some curiosity. He looked down and he's like, you know, it was right at the moment that I was going to say, you can put more fingers in, because not everybody, you know, you don't just like put all your fingers in somebody.
Fair. Yes. Do not make assumptions, people. Do not make assumptions.
Yeah. But it was like right at the moment that I was going to ask for that. He like, so it was just kind of this like, he was just like he was looking and I was like, yeah, you could put it in.
I love that.
Yeah. And he was already doing it. So it was really nice.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So are there any constructive criticisms for our Billy?
Yeah. So his beard was a little bit prickly. I'm pretty sensitive. And his chin was lining up right with the opening of my vagina. It's a little prickly sometimes. And that's just a personal preference for me.
So would you see our dear Billy again?
Yeah. I'm actually excited. I want to see him at a party again so we can continue these efforts.
Good boy. All right, Billy. How has this entire experience been for you? 5 women. How you doing, champ?
How has it been for you?
Hilarious.
Do tell.
Interesting, because it's obviously like I can relate to the girls. Like I know the nervousness beforehand, but also like
The nervousness of getting eaten out for a podcast?
Yes. Having your orgasms recorded for people across your fandom to hear you moaning can also be a little intimidating, or empowering. And I did find that with these women, it was a lot more empowerment. Being confident in yourself, being confident in giving directions. You know, there has definitely been one big theme throughout all of these. There is not enough men listening, taking directions, and really just like enjoying it, like not treating it like, oh, it's the thing I have to do to get the thing I really want. And
as opposed to letting it be its own event, not just an event that gets to your dick inside of her.
Exactly.
It can be, it just doesn't always have to be.
It's brilliant, Lily. And one of my favorite things with both Betty and Carly, it's like, who is the best? They're main partners. So I'm now just drawing correlation that if you're really good at giving oral and you enjoy it, you are more likely to find yourself a long-term partner.
I would disagree.
Fine.
Yeah. You know, the more connected I got to be with someone, the more into it, like, I was. The more I got to, like, kiss somebody well, I mean, the harder I am. The more maybe we texted, the more connected, the more I don't want to say enjoyable as if anything was enjoyable. I'm just saying, like, all was enjoyable and some were more enjoyable because I got to, like, have some kind of connection. Because I think still is true for me is sex is still far more fun and pleasurable when I'm connected with that person, when I know they think I'm hot.
So a lot of this definitely sounds more like in your head. The thought process is like going on, like the conversations you're having with yourself in your head while you're going, like, if you're not as connected, it now stops becoming something fun for you and more of a...
It's not that it stops becoming fun. It's just like it's a different type of fun.
Okay.
It's like the fun of, like, I'm figuring out this puzzle.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. All right, Billy. So let's compare these notes and see if you wanted to see that person again or not, and if they matched your answers. So let's start with Alex. Would you want to see Alex again?
Yeah, we should fuck.
Yes, this is definitely a matching answer.
Yeah, we'll do stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God, she was adorable. I loved it. Let's go to Carly.
Yeah, Carly and I can now finally hang out. We've talked about hanging out before, and it was always with this. I would always qualify with if you don't end up hating me after what we do. We've talked about like hanging out, smoking, and like jerking off or fooling around together. So I'm still down to like smoke some weed and watch porn with a fellow sex geek, and yeah.
Yeah, you definitely definitely gonna do this again, which you kind of already know.
She said, yeah, I don't fucking know. I wasn't there for the recap.
Well, that's fair, but I thought you were like, well, you
I could have fucked up any of these.
Oh, this is true.
I have no idea. I don't think I made anyone actually come today.
Yes, you did.
Cool. But what I'm trying to say is today I had a great time. I don't actually know that answer. Oh. Samantha, I knew that because like I drowned. Right? But, you know, it's like, so I don't technically know.
Yeah. Betty.
I mean, I would want to see Betty again. I already think I know the answer, so.
It wasn't a solid no, but it was not the most. It was, yeah.
I would hit her up to be like, do you to like maybe do a content thing? But I could tell she was not like enthused. But she's so cute.
Oh my gosh, she really is. And Gina.
Yes, so long as I know that like I'm not bothering her about trying to hook up again.
No, you're not bothering her.
I should probably answer these just straightforward yes, no, the way the game was set up, right? Instead of constantly qualifying. Yes, I would play with Gina again.
Yes. Gina is definitely open to it, yes.
See how these answers though? It's like open to it. It's like I need expression of desire to be interested. To quote one of my favorite movies, definitely maybe, I have a thing for people who have a thing for me.
So, Billy, tell us what happened with Samantha.
So, Samantha was our first kind of like beta test on an otherwise failure of a recording day in that like everyone canceled or rescheduled or got their period or something. So, We went out for drinks like the following week. I said, hey, do you want to like risk learning my personality and get drinks, or do you just want to like come over and do stuff? She's like, I'll take the risk. I was like, all right, cool. So we got drinks. I thought went well, talked a bit. She's kind of like, so we going back to your place? I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, get back, fool around. And she's kind of like, I'm not really like interested in even like playing with dicks right now. I kind of just want to like get mine. And I'm like, you know me, that's hot to me. So she's having me go down her and all that, and I'm just swallowing loads and loads of cum again. It's the same song, different verse. It's just give me the jizz. And we keep fooling around, and then at some point, like, she's standing up over me, and I'm fingering her. I think she was like getting up to go or get dressed, but like she's still standing over me. So I just like, but I got my fingers into her before so I like hooked her in, and I'm fingering her while laying on my back. And I've at this point, I'm like, I take my dick out and I'm like jerking myself off, and she says, "I don't want to see you come." I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am, whatever I said. Jerk off. She squirts, fucking showers onto me. It's awesome. And then she like goes, and she's like doing seductive, like looking back at me. And I'm just like mindless goon, like, oh. and again, she didn't want to see me come. So as soon as the door closed, I instantly loudly came, oh, right. And, whatever. Walks out, and I hear my main door also closed, so she's left, and she texted me like, did you have a good time? Like, I know I did. Like, positive language. I'm like, yeah, definitely, we should do that again. Cool. A few days later, I think I said like, hey, I allude to getting together again. Hear nothing. And then last night I was really horny, and I texted her, you up? Nothing. This morning at like 8:30, I got like a text said, sorry, Billy, I'm not interested in seeing you again.
That was a full story, and that came to an interesting, surprising end.
Right?
I'm a little surprised.
Right?
I mean, literally, yeah. I'm a little surprised by that.
Me too. I asked any particular reason. I haven't heard back yet. I will update Fanhorn Nation should that update come about. But, is what it is. It was still a really fucking hot time. Like, I'm cool with the 2 times I got to just I don't chug beer anymore, but it was kind of like chugging cum, like lady cum. It was great. And I can live with that. It's just I'm very curious, like, what changed. I'm not gonna pester her for it, and I'm not even gonna like hit her up. The only time I'm gonna hit her up is to let her know when this is out.
Sounds good.
But oh well.
I mean, I'm so sorry you were rained upon in cum.
Hey, it's like we'll always have jizzing. So
You'll always have that.
And Roxanne, was there anything about this experience for you that you want to share with folks?
I really enjoyed talking to the very different people that were here. Like, this was like the gamut of different personalities, experiences, and like even just like their entire personality, and hearing either things that we all have in common, our complaints, our bad experiences, where they all stem from, but also like self-confidence in that whole theme. And for women alone, it's just like seeing like, oh yeah, I don't feel that confident about my body, or I'm feeling confident today, but not always. Or, oh, I've got a belly, or we all have these thoughts, no matter how thin we are. Like, I mean, Samantha's hot as hell and she knows it. But she's, at the same time, like, having that confidence is important.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed our sequel to the oral sex auditions. Again, if you want to hear the OG, the original, go scroll on back to episode 180 sometime back in 2017. If this is your first time listening to the Man Whore Podcast, do make sure you smash, I hear that's what the kids are saying, smash that subscribe button. All right, and tune in to more. We're here every Wednesday for over 9 years, bringing you sex-positive conversations. And if you want to support the podcast, which I know you do, and I know something like an oral sex auditions is a little aggressive to share on Facebook, that's fine. So then please support me with your $2 on Patreon. For just 7 cents a day, you can feed a hungry, hungry whore who right now is very low on electrolytes. So shout out and much love to my Patreon community. Love you, Fan Whore Nation. And I hope you will become a member yourself at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast or download the Patreon app and you can find me on there. I'll have links to all my normal stuff. I'll have links to our lovely gals who participated, who also happen to do the OnlyFans, in the show notes. And with that, I think we should say the words. Do you know the words?
I do not.
You have a button that says them. Oh. You want to say it together? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Stay slutty.
Fuck. Oh my god, I swallowed. Multiple times. That was so fucking hot. Wow.
How's that, Billy?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In the arms of the angel.
Did you enjoy what you heard? For 7 cents a day, you can feed an indie podcast host. Support the show on Patreon for behind-the-scenes content, bonus episodes, Discord benefits, and the ability to brag at parties about donating to the arts. Join now at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. You're in the arms of the angel.